What is up, you beautiful people? You're very welcome along to Tuesday's evening agenda. Because not late night agenda, really, is it? Because we're doing a watch along of Manchester United's game with Bayern Munich over on top of the league. So when I do these, I try to come on here an hour beforehand to build up to the game. Of course, to talk to you guys about what's going on in the world of Liverpool and to just check in on how everybody's feeling. So loads to get through tonight over the next hour or so. As always, you guys are in command. You let me know what you want to discuss. We'll look about the KONATE contract extension talk. We'll have a little look into the the injury list, I should say, and namely around Alexis McAllister, and of course a few bits and pieces in the transfer market. So I hope you're all well. I hope it's not too cold wherever in the world you are, and appreciate you being here with us. Right, what have we got? 2:30 a.m. in the Philippines. Eddie, wow. Well, I say wow, I'd be up at that time as well, but I'm a weirdo. So I hope you're well, mate, and thank you for joining us. I love the new hoodie, thank you. I'm not really allowed to wear blue on the channel, but I mean, it's a nice colour and it's comfortable and I like it. So I decided I'd push back and wear a bit of blue for once. I talk a bit of blue, so I might as well wear a bit of blue. What else we got? Yo, Craig, I'm trying to watch Liverpool Premier League. Oh, I didn't even know such a thing existed, to be honest with you. That's how little I'm into the world of gaming. Right, so we've got a referee confirmation anyway for the game of the weekend. And the good news is that Michael Oliver is going to be the official in charge of our game against Manchester United at Anfield on Sunday, with a 4:30 kickoff. Stuart Burt and Dan Cook are the assistants. John Brooks and Simon Long will be in Stockley Park taking care of VAR. And Anthony Taylor will be the fourth official at Anfield for the game. So that's a bit of housekeeping done. What else we got in here? So yes, we'll move on to talk about Alexis McAllister and how long he could be out for in a few moments. A fixture change as well, actually, that we just need to keep you guys up to date with. Liverpool's game against Chelsea in January is now an 8:15 kickoff on January the 31st. So 8:15 kickoff, January the 31st. Liverpool's game at home against Chelsea, that has been moved. I'm not sure which channel it's on, but I'm sure it will be on TV. And yeah, 8:15, great kickoff time, great game. Looking forward to that, and hopefully we can get to 3 points. We opened our season with a 1-1 draw, if my memory serves me right, at Stamford Bridge, so hopefully we can turn that around at Anfield and get the win. Am I doing a United watch along? Yes, sir. I will be on there from 7:30, Luke, mate. Thoughts on Madueke to Liverpool? That it won't happen is most likely my thoughts, but you never know. Like with this situation in the January window, and you never know what craziness might be about to come upon us. Actually, a little bit of positive news. Thiago Alcantara is at Kirby, looking to step up his progress back towards first team football. So hopefully we should see him, I think, just after Christmas, according to the reports. Who is the Brazilian talent? Oh, well, I could name you a few, but I think you probably have somebody particular in mind. Look, we're going to go through everything, but it takes time. I have to build up through each story, so bear with me. Update on injuries, please. The same as it was yesterday, Omar. So let me quickly try to fly through them for you, buddy. Alexis McAllister, that's the most recent up-to-date information we have on him, is that it should be 15 days for that wound to heal. So we got stitches in his foot in the game against, I want to say it was Sheffield United. So he's going to be out for 15 days. Now, he will miss the United game by the looks of it. Will miss the game against Union Saint-Gilloise. I was hopeful we would have had him back for the United game. Now, there's been a few bits of scaremongering that suggest he might miss the Arsenal game, the West Ham game. Maybe the West Ham game, but I'm not so sure about him missing the Arsenal game. You know, if you work off 15 days from that injury, he should be back in and around that game. So that's where we are with him. Andy Robertson, we're looking at January at the earliest. By Cecic, there's still no real update on, other than it's a few little issues. Thiago, as I mentioned, he is back at Kirby, starting to do a few bits and pieces. Joel Matip won't be back until, well, next season, if we're being honest, if he has a Liverpool deal at that point. Is there anybody else I'm forgetting about? God, I don't think there's anybody else. If I am forgetting, let me know, and I'll try my best to let you know where we stand with them with regards to injuries. Oh, Diogo Jota, that's the other one. He's back running, stepping up his game or his rehab. could be available at the weekend. Don't hold me to that, but it wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility that maybe Jota could be available for the United game in some way, shape or form. Did you see Alexis post where he's on crutches wearing a knee brace? So the knee brace is just a bit of bruising, I think. It's the foot that's causing the problem. It was a rather deep cut by the sounds of it that required stitches, and I think it's his left foot, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's the reason that we're not seeing Alexis. What do I think of Darwin not scoring in 8 games? It's a difficult one to answer. Like, on the face of it, you should go, not good enough. But we're winning. And I've said this many times, I don't really mind who scores the goals as long as we're winning. But our performances could be better, no doubt about that one. So, bit of a rule change from the Premier League. They have voted in favour of limiting amortisation of new contracts to a maximum of 5 years. Deals can no longer, or deals can be longer than that, but amortisation can't. So previously no cap on that, but the Premier League is now in line with UEFA's rules, and it will not be backdated. So this is for any deals Chelsea do moving forward as well. Why look at this? So no more amortising players. Contracts over more than 5 years. And if you don't know what that means, roughly, let's say you sign a player and you want to spread the value of that deal out, which is how these things are done in accounting practices. It's called amortization. So you spread the cost of that deal out over, let's say, 5 years. Individually, each year, let's say it was 100 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, and that's what shows up on your club's accounts. So Todd Bowley and Chelsea got a bit creative, and they started with the 6, 7, 8 year deals, and now that's no longer able to be done because the Premier League has finally caught up with UEFA's own rules, meaning no more of this from anybody. Want Lacroix or Bayer? I don't know too much. Lacroix, there was a report yesterday from, I think it was Florian Plettenberg, that said Liverpool's interest in him is not, I don't want to say it's not true, but it's not serious, and they're not going to be pursuing that deal. The youngster you've spoken about, Bayer or Beer, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, playing at Hoffenheim. No surprise to me that Jurgen Klopp and George Schmartke are looking at talent in the Bundesliga. But would it be for the here and now? I think he's 21 if my memory's... He's 19 or 21. He's one of those two. So other than that, I don't really know too much more about it, to be honest. Anderson from Palace. I don't think he's good enough for the way we play, personally. I get what you're saying about Premier League proven, speaks English and all. I just don't think he's good enough for us. If we're going to Crystal Palace, I'd rather we went for Mark A. Darwin is not a good player, but he is, though. Like, he might be frustrating. You might not rate him, but he is a good player. You don't get to a club like Liverpool unless you're a good player. He's raw, he needs work, and he needs to progress. I'll give you all of that, but he is a good player. Ask Newcastle if he's a good player. Ask the teams he scored against for Uruguay if he's a good player. Am I worried about KONATE now? Why would I be worried? The club are... We'll move on to KONATE, actually. So, Le 10 Sport, who are a French outlet, they say that Liverpool and Ibrahim KONATE have opened up conversations around a contract extension. Liverpool are looking to tie him down to a longer deal, no surprises there. He's currently contracted until 2026 after coming in from 2021 from Leipzig. And look, I imagine that this should be a fairly straightforward deal. Liverpool want to keep Ibu, of course, because he's brilliant. I'm sure Ibu's enjoying his time here as well. And with him having another 2 and a bit years to go on his contract, this is about the time where clubs tend to sit down and try to extend. I'd expect similar to be coming out about Trent soon as well. Liverpool will be looking to tie him down to a new improved deal. So yeah, no, all good on Ibrahim KONATE. I mean, I'd be more concerned if we weren't seeing this type of thing. That Liverpool were looking to tie down our star players. So yeah, all good on that front. Caicedo wants a move already. Oh, Eddie, where do we go with this one, buddy? Where do we go with this one? Look, Caicedo... I don't want to go back over old ground, but I still don't understand it, Eddie. I don't get it. Why would you choose Chelsea over Liverpool? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Unless you have the London factor, and that's so strong a pull that you want to be in London. But ultimately, if you're looking at your career perspective, Liverpool was a far better move for Caicedo. Our need in that position was greater. We have more stability at the club. Our manager would have absolutely brought his game onto another level. He would have been playing with a former teammate in Alexis McAllister. It would have all been good. But he and his agent dug their heels in, and the grass isn't always greener, as we like to say, and tough shit. If he's not happy at Chelsea, that's his own problem. He had the chance to come to Anfield and he snubbed it. Would I still take Caicedo? Oh God, yes. After everything I've said, I would absolutely take him. It just won't happen now. You know, Brighton got a really, really high transfer fee for Caicedo. And there's no way I think Liverpool are going to give Chelsea more money than that. So I also don't think Chelsea will sell to Liverpool. But look, it's one that got away from me. I've said this before. When I heard the news that Liverpool had agreed a fee for Caicedo, I think I could only really compare it to the signing of Virgil van Dijk. Because I thought to myself, that's a statement. That's a signing that pushes us onto another level. That boxes off the midfield. I was so happy for that 24-hour period. Yeah, but no, I can't see it happening again. I can't see us going back in. I feel like if Darwin does perform a step up when Salah's way at the AFCON, then the warning bells will chime. I think that's a fair assessment. When Mo does depart for the AFCON, we will be dependent on Darwin, Gakpo, Jota, Lucho to step up and deliver. And you're right. I hope he does. I believe he will. I just recorded a preview for the Union Saint-Gilloise game, and oh my God, lads. That was probably the most difficult preview I've ever recorded, because I didn't want to put anybody that may be playing at the weekend near the starting 11, but we have to be respectful of the competition. Obviously, we have to fulfill the fixture, so it was a tough one, and that'll be coming out. I think it's coming out about 9:30 tonight, so keep an eye out for it. I want João Cancelo from Barcelona. No, I don't want Cancelo. I think there are younger players that Liverpool could look at. I'm intrigued though to see what we do in January. You know, there's been a portion. I don't know what the fuck I'm going with a portion. There has been some chatter that I wanted to go through. First of all, a story from the Daily Mail caught my attention today. The Daily Mail have reported that Chelsea are prepared to entertain offers for Conor Gallagher in order to raise money for Mauricio Pochettino to spend in the transfer market. They go on to talk about Liverpool being one of the teams that previously had an interest in him. Let me say this very clearly, very loudly, very sincerely. Don't want Conor Gallagher. Not a chance. No way. No how. No thank you. Not good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club. Pass. We can get better. Cheaper. No thank you. Same with Calvin Phillips. Don't want him either. Don't want other clubs cast-offs when they want to suddenly cash in because they're up shit creek. Leave them up shit creek. Let them struggle to sort out FFP. I don't want us to be the ones bailing out Chelsea of their financial mess. John Williams, thank you so much, mate, for the super chat. Did you hear about the referee being punched and kicked in the match in Turkey? Yes, and he's in hospital. And all Turkish games have been suspended. And it was the club president of, I can't remember the name of the club, that came onto the pitch and did it. And that is unacceptable in every facet. The man deserves to go to prison for what he did. That's disgusting. That is, you cannot have that happening in sport. That is beyond, I'm not a fan of refs, as you're probably aware of. But that is disgusting what happened. And I hope he has the book thrown at him. I hope he's banned from football. You don't do that. You don't do that, man. You can't do that. You can't lay hands on an official. So, another interesting little tidbit coming out, and this time it's from Ben Jacobs. You will like this one, I think. So, Ben Jacobs and Transfer News have reported that Liverpool are thoroughly scouting Brazil for talent. as numerous other top clubs have seen that it's a very attractive market with good deals to be had. They go on to talk about Gabriel Mascardo from Corinthians, who looks very likely to go to PSG. And they talk about another couple of players that Liverpool have got their eye on as well. Obviously, Beraldo would be another name linked to Liverpool from the Brazilian league. So, good news. There seems to be some good value to be had there. So, fingers crossed we hear something. Excuse me. Oh, I like that. Mr. Too Sweet said, Craig, I'm on a school trip and watching this on the bus. Nice one. Like it. Well in. Good looking out, buddy. Hope you enjoyed your school trip as well. Any news on the Macca injury? Yeah, I went through it a little bit earlier, Anton. So, looking at 15 days for the recovery, according to the latest little bit of news. So, we got stitches in his foot. They were deep. It was a deep wound and a bruise badly. So, yeah, the reports, I think, coming out of Argentina suggest that it would be about 15 days before we see Alexis McAllister available. Jota apparently should be in the squad for the Manx on Sunday. I hope so, David. I hope so, because Jota can score some very important goals. And with Arsenal coming up as well, we know Diogo loves the goal against Arsenal. So, yeah, that's great news. It's good news to see Thiago back at Kirby as well. I wish we had a bit more positive update or any real update on Stefan Bajcetic. You know, you did see him in the photograph with the squad as they were helping Mohamed Salah celebrate reaching that beautiful milestone of 200 Liverpool goals. I'm sure you've probably seen the image, Mo holding up the 200 shirt with the whole squad behind him. And you can see Bajcetic in that photo. So that in itself is good news. Who will play in the 6 for us against United? So I've been asking myself that very same question. If I had to guess, because I don't know if he'll go with Endo, Jones or Gravenberch, maybe? Or does he go balls out and put Trent in there? Put Gomez at right back, maybe. Not sure, but that would be... that'll kind of be where my head's at anyway, thinking about that position for the United game. We should get Bakayoko and Mbappe, said Gee Whiz. So, lots of good stuff on Bakayoko that I've read, but also a lot of stuff that says he's probably not ready to come to Liverpool yet. Mbappe one, well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what does happen with him. I'm certainly not expectant of a move to Liverpool, but let's wait and see what happens. Colin Blackshaw said, we miss Jota. He scores a lot of important goals. Absolutely, buddy. I'm with you on that one. Is Gomez better at right back? Or Craig? That wasn't a question. It was a statement from Omar. Said, Craig, Gomez is better at right back, don't you think? I feel more comfortable, Omar, when I see him at right back. Definitely. I think centrally at times, I think he can get caught ball watching. And I think he has little lapses in concentration. But I do think he gives us a good option. And has no problem with making those overlapping runs on the right hand side as well. I thought he looked very good against Crystal Palace in the latter part of the game where he was on that right hand side. He got to the byline, got 5 or 6 crosses in, if I remember correctly. I reckon all balls out, Trent in the 6, Gomez at right back. I agree with Craig on that one, said Ian. Sorry, I have had some tickly phlegm for the past few weeks that I just cannot shift. So if you ever hear me coughing or trying to clear my throat, that's why. It's very frustrating because I get halfway through a sentence and then it'll pop up and I'm struggling to speak again. Lorcan, how are you, mate? Said the new Anfield Road stand looks fresh. It looks brilliant, yeah. It looks very imposing. I can't wait. I think this Sunday against United, Anfield's going to have its biggest attendance in 50 years or something like that. If I'm right, it's going to be up at around 57k, 58k, something like that, which is brilliant. But when we get to 61, that's going to be even better. But it looks like that'll be in the new year. But at least we will have a huge crowd at Anfield for what is a massive game. Biggest one of the season, of course, when United rock up. So let's hope we can put them to the sword. I think Savia from Girona is world class. We should look at him. Well, let's be honest, mate. the odds of Liverpool, the odds of Liverpool signing somebody from Girona, a Manchester City club, is probably slim. I'd say, I'd say City have their eyes on anybody who's shown talent there. Have I taken a look at Scalvini? No. Sorry. Mate, it's been a mad couple of weeks, honestly. Behind the scenes stuff going on. Little rats trying to ruin my name in Discord again. With more of their bullshit. It's been a trying few days for me on a personal level. And of course I've been trying to tie up the few bits and pieces behind the scenes about the show for Boston and stuff. So I can give you information on that actually. So I was told today that the Boston tickets are going to go on sale on Friday. So if you're in that neck of the woods and you can be around 22nd of March, you'd like to come and join us at the Citizens House of Blues in Boston in the Foundation Room. Those tickets are going to go on sale Ticketmaster in the US on Friday, apparently. So there you go. I look forward to seeing the four of you there. I don't have high hopes for these type of things, but sure, we'll give it a bash and see where we end up. Are you doing the United game on top of the league? God no, Joey. Right here on Anfield Agenda. So Adam will be joining me for it, but we have to do it here, man. It's the big channel. It's the big game. It has to be here. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Actually, I'll give you a heads up for Sunday. So what we'll do is we'll do the watch along together, myself and Adam here on Anfield Agenda. Then we'll both break away. I'll do my own match reaction on Anfield Agenda. Adam will go over to Forever United and do his match reaction and bits and pieces over there. And then we're going to come back together at 8:30 on the Sunday evening on Top of the League and do a Top of the League match reaction together. So loads of stuff coming up on what will be a really big day for us on Sunday. Craig, we always seem to sign a star in January. Well, I've got great recollections, gee whiz, of January transfers. Your Suarez, Studge, what are the ones we brought in January that have worked really, really well? Coutinho, if I'm not mistaken, came in at the same window as Studge. So yeah, we've done well previously when we've gone big. Verge, of course, probably the biggest one. But I don't know what to expect this January window. That's the honest answer. I really just don't know what to expect from it. Oh, you meant the Bayern one. Sorry, Joey, mate. Sorry. Yes, be on top of the league for that, pal. Be on there at 7:30. My apologies, mate. I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. Craig, we're making jerk chicken right now. Come on now. No sharing. Where's my jerk chicken? So, no Adam today, no Ben. They're at Old Trafford. And I wish them both nothing but misery for the 90 minutes. And I've said that to them, so I'm not just being a shithouse. I hope they have a great time, meet their mates, have a lovely day out. But I hope they leave Old Trafford very disappointed this evening from a footballing perspective. Craig knows how to look after his team, by the way. You know, we sorted those tickets for Ben and his good lady wife and made sure they had everything they needed for the trip up there. And they're going to be spending the night in Manchester as well. So I hope the guys have a good time and enjoy some well-deserved time off. You've done us all proud on Sunday on the kick-off. Thank you, Stephen. I know a lot of people were worried for the first 10 minutes going, is he there? Is he going to fucking say anything? I just genuinely, what happened was, it was a Chelsea conversation. We had two Chelsea fans there. And I didn't want to interrupt two Chelsea fans talking about Chelsea, you know. It's their club. So I just kind of stayed quiet for the first 10 minutes and waited till I could feel like I could contribute something to the conversation. Will Maka be available versus Manchester United? It doesn't look that way. They're Winnie and Chimp, but until Jurgen says he's ruled out, you know, I'm kind of a little bit hopeful. The prognosis seems to be about 15 days from the time he had the injury, which required those stitches. So I counted up, and I think it's the 21st if you're counting the 15 days from the day it happened. So, yeah, look, not great if we can't have him for that. Also looks like he'll be a doubt for the game against West Ham, the League Cup quarter-final on the 20th. But, you know, hopefully his healing can speed up a little bit. Who's the Brazilian lad we're trying to sign? So, there's no one particular person that I would say confidently Liverpool are trying to sign. But what I did mention a while ago is it's been reported that Liverpool are scouting very heavily over in Brazil. Gabriel Moscardo was one name, but PSG looked the most serious for him. Beraldo, of course, from Sao Paulo was another name, a centre-back that we spoke about. And honestly, after that, I don't really know. I hope Andre is in that conversation, of course, but currently he'll be over the Club World Cup in Saudi. I think they're playing Auckland City in their first game, if my memory is correct. No, sorry, that's Al Ittihad who are playing Auckland City. Craig, steak or chicken? It depends. It depends now, because chicken's robust. Like, chicken comes in many beautiful forms, but probably steak is the answer. Who do you think will be starting most games in January with the right wing? Salah is away with Egypt. Elliott, Doak, Soboslai, they're probably the three. You could maybe make an argument to move Diaz across to the right hand side and push Gakpo, Darwin or Jota out to the left. So look, we've got options, which is a good thing. Kate Gordon, of course, is back now, although he's working his way to match fitness. Is there any update on Lacroix? Only, Joey, that yesterday Florian Plettenberg said Liverpool's interest in him is not, I don't want to say sincere, isn't likely to lead to a bid. That's what was mentioned by Florian Plettenberg of Sky Germany yesterday, or at least it was spoken about yesterday. Is the Palhinha talks really happening? So again, these aren't my words, but Fulham want to sell Palhinha, or at least Palhinha wants out of Fulham. It was thought that he was going to go to Bayern Munich, but that looks like it could be off the table. So then the three clubs that have been spoken about are Liverpool, Arsenal, I think Manchester United as well. Now, it feels unlikely to me that Liverpool would spend 60 million to sign a 28-year-old Palhinha, knowing our owners the way I think we all do. But there's no part of me that wouldn't take him or that wouldn't think he's good enough to come to Liverpool. I just can't see us. I can't see us spending that money, if I'm being honest, for somebody 28, and yeah, it feels unlikely. Do you play FPL, and if so, who do I have in my team? So I do play it, just not very well. Who do I have in my team? Off the top of my head, God, Alisson in goal, Trent at right back. I can't remember. Do you know what? I'm going to read it out because I can't remember. One second, my FPL team. Pick team. Right, so I've got Alisson, Trent, Saliba, Diaz, Ward-Prowse, Son, Bowen, Saka, Watkins, Julian Alvarez, Darwin, Vicario, Enzo, Walker, and Digne. That's my FPL squad. Bayern have gone all out in the lineup. We love that. We love that, Joshua. Oh, thank you. Marcus very kindly sent me the two lineups. I'll read them out to you quickly. Neuer, Upamecano, Mignolet, Kimmich, Goretzka, Kane, Sané, Coleman, Davies, Maratsu, and Musiala. Do you reckon we're going to get a moment where we get that Spider-Man meme of Upamecano and Maguire kind of just both pointing at each other? I hope so. For Manchester United, they've gone for Onana, Amrabat, Maguire, Bruno, Højlund, Garnacho, Varane. Wow, he's actually playing Varane. Interesting. Dalot, Anthony, Shaw, and McTominay. And as people have pointed out, no Marcus Rashford on the bench either for Manchester United tonight. So, don't know if there's an injury or if maybe Ten Hag doesn't fancy it. I don't know the answer to that question. Is there any update on Musialewski's development? So the last I heard, there was a change of agent. And I think there was a bit of a standoff between the club and him over something. The truth is, I don't really know. I did read a couple of bits and pieces over the last month or so, but nothing seems imminent from what I've read. Well, United are dropping out, said Carlson. Thought maybe Bayern would go easy since they're through. Oh, no. These two clubs have, I don't want to say hatred towards each other, because that's not true. But Bayern won't forget that Champions League final that United beat them in '99. And they're going to want, Harry Kane's going to want to come back to England and make a point as well. So I knew they were going to go strong. Oh, Rashford is ill, is he? Okay, that makes sense. Do I think Kimmich is good for Liverpool? So I did read something on Joshua Kimmich yesterday. There was something on The Athletic, I think, where they were talking about Kimmich's situation at Bayern, Thomas Tuchel, and I think one of the former Bayern superstars basically called Tuchel out for saying that Kimmich can't really play the 6 role. So I think that there's a bit of division there about how Kimmich is being utilised at Bayern. But I don't expect him to come to Liverpool, to be honest with you. Lorcan Riley, thank you, my friend, for joining Anfield Agenda Ultras. Appreciate you. Tuchel or Ten Hag? Tuchel. I wouldn't want either of them near Liverpool, but Tuchel. How's Newland doing? Is he still living the life since we're top of the league? Gabriel, you wouldn't believe it, mate. His agent he's becoming a bit of a Billy Big Bollocks, Newland, to be honest with you. Getting a bit ahead of himself now that Liverpool are top of the league. You know, demanding wages and stuff now, but we'll keep him in check, don't worry. Felix said, Craig, I feel so sad. I was supposed to be on to the match on the 30th for the Newcastle game, but the match changes to January the 1st and I'll be on a plane back to the US. I'm so sorry to hear that, mate. It's a kick in the nuts when that type of stuff happens. It's happened to me on a couple of occasions, but, you know, big difference between you, your good self, travelling all the way from the States and me coming over from Ireland. It's not too bad for me, but when I'm booking a game, I always try to give an allowance for, like, let's say a game scheduled for a Saturday. What I would usually do is make sure that I can attend every Saturday and every Sunday potential kickoff slot. Maybe even the Monday at a push. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough when this happens, especially when it ruins your travel plans like that. So hopefully you can get over for a game soon. And look, I'm sure you'll enjoy the stadium tour anyway, but I'm sorry that happened to you, mate. Will you be doing a watch along for the game? Which game is that in particular? I mean, I'll give you the ones I am doing, so hopefully that helps. Top of the league tonight for United Bayern. We will be doing the Newcastle game tomorrow on top of the league, just not sure which one of us or if both of us yet. Thursday we'll be doing the Europa League watch along. Sunday the United game, of course. Saturday's my day off. So I hope I've answered your question. Shamrock Vibes. Just wanted to say, love listening to your show. Thanks for all the information and news regarding Liverpool. Oh, mate, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for your support. It means a lot. Look, this isn't a show to me. This is a chatting with mates kind of thing. But, yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you. So one thing I can promise for anybody coming to the live show is I won't be coming out like a dickhead singing a Christmas song very poorly in a Christmas jumper. Unlike some others who apparently think that's the way to start a live show. I might sing though. I mean, I can't promise you I won't sing. Just not in a Christmas jumper. And if I do sing, I'll definitely know the words of the song I'm trying to sing. What's going on with KONATE? Nothing. It's good news around Ibu. The talk is that Liverpool are going to negotiate a new deal. That's it. Like, Liverpool looking to tie him down to a new deal, which is exactly the news we like to hear. He's got, is it 26 his current contract he sports? So he's got about 2 years to go after this season. So it makes sense. This is about the time Liverpool would look to start negotiating an extension. I expect the same for Trent Alexander-Arnold, actually. Over the course between now and the summer, I expect Trent to sign a new deal. Am I an Irish League fan? So, I wouldn't call myself a fan because that would be disrespectful to the actual fans. But I do keep an eye on the Irish League. I am very happy that the league's headed in the right direction. I'm also happy there's been some good work on stadiums. You know, you've seen what's happened to Sligo in the showgrounds, a couple of other stadiums in Dublin. Hopefully, going to get the go ahead for some revamping. But I don't watch as much of it as I should, to be honest. Do you think we will see any more of Thiago? I do. I don't know how much of him, but I do think he'll play again between now and the end of the season, yes. Do you think KONATE will stay at Liverpool? I very much hope so. I mean, I hope he can fulfill everything he wants to from a footballing perspective at Liverpool. I view him as a future leader of that back line. Nothing but admiration and respect for Ibrahim KONATE. So yeah, I very much hope he does. What's my favourite Irish team? Shelbourne. Shelbourne would be the one I guess I'd have a fondness for. Although my dad worked really hard to try and get me to Pats, because a friend of his, Paul Assam, used to play at St. Pat's. So I went out to a few games out in Inchicore with my dad. But it was always Shelbourne for me, because my uncles got there first. And my uncles brought me to see a couple of Shelbourne games when I was younger. So I always had a fondness for Shelbourne. If we were to get a swap offer, would you take Frimpong for Trent? No, not a hope. No way. No. Weirdly, I know, because I did say about a year ago that Trent needs to buck up his ideas, but not a hope now. Trent is developing beautifully into a leader and a really, 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 really important cog in our machine. Who do you think will sign in January? Honestly, I'm not trying to not answer your question. I wouldn't even hazard a guess at this point. There's not one name that I feel confident in throwing out there now that Liverpool will sign. I can tell you who I'd like to sign. Andre, a centre-back, potentially a young left-back. John Williams again, thank you for your super chat. I read online that Liverpool are looking to end Reece Williams' loan and bring him back to Anfield. Just wanted your thoughts. I think I touched on this yesterday, so most worrying thing about that for me, John, was the news that he hasn't played a single game at Aberdeen. So you would ask yourself, if the Aberdeen manager is looking at him and doesn't think he's good enough to break into their team in the SPL, how on earth are we supposed to consider seriously that he can impact our squad in a positive way between now and the end of the season? So I've no problem with Liverpool ending that loan spell and sending Reece Williams to another club to gain some more experience and potentially sell him in the summer. But as it being the answer to us, I feel like it's only an answer numerically. It's not an answer from a footballing perspective for me. I'd rather take Nat Phillips back from Celtic and just keep him for the end of the season. Jean-Claire Todibo in January prediction. Never, ever, 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 ever going to happen because of the whole Jim Radcliffe factor. There's no way Jim Radcliffe, who's about to buy 25% stake in Manchester United, sells a promising centre-back to Liverpool. It's just not going to happen. He's earmarked to go to United. That's Adam's words, by the way, about the earmarked to go to United part. Yeah, it's just not going to... Just imagine the fume, mate, of the United fan base. This new owner or part owner arrives to their club and then they sell us the star centre-back from his club in France. No, it just wouldn't sit well with United fans. What's your opinion on Salah in the last few games? It depends what you're looking for. So, do I think he's always passing the eye test? No. Do I think he's dropped off a bit? Well, also, weirdly, no. I think maybe his goal scoring has dropped off a bit, but his all-around play, his work ethic, his defensive ability, his passing, his vision, I think he's impacting games. Just maybe we're not seeing the flood of goals that we've seen previously. But I'm okay with that as long as we keep winning. That's all I really want at this point of the season is results. What's your thoughts on Endo so far this season? I'm up and down, John. Honestly, mate, I'm up and down on him. Some games I've watched and I've thought, yep, I see it. Other games, he's looked weak. He's looked timid. But I think ultimately where I am with Endo is he suits certain games. But McAllister's more versatile and flexible in the position. So I think Endo will work for certain... Like, for instance, I think Endo would be okay against United. But I don't know if I'd play him against Arsenal, if you get me. I think Arsenal would be the wrong game to put Endo in, but I think against United it would be alright. I hope that makes sense. Darius said, would love to have Alphonso Davies in a Liverpool shirt. I think we all would. I think we're all fans. I think most likely Real Madrid, as things stand. You know, they need fullbacks. I think he's spoken about wanting to go and play at the Bernabeu. So, yeah, I think that's his most likely move if he leaves Bayern. Do I think Salah will leave in 2024? Yes, I do. Now, I don't want him to. I'm not advocating for it. But I don't see... Unless we hear something between now and the summer, I don't see what choice the club would have other than to sell if there's no breakthrough or there's no new deal on the horizon. You can't lose him for free. That would just be madness. You can't gamble that maybe you'll convince him during the last year of his contract to sign an extension. It's got to be resolved by the summer. And I mean early in the summer, not dragging on into August. Liverpool need to know what the situation is as early as possible so we can make contingency plans. If Mo gets a contract extension and stays, happy days. We're all happy. If Mo wants to move for pastures new, then it's up to Liverpool to get as much money as we can and reinvest that as wisely as we can. So I'm just nervous because we're not hearing anything about a negotiation. And I can't believe the club are interested in an extension, but why wouldn't they be? I mean, you hear how fondly everybody speaks about him, how highly the manager talks about him. It feels like a weird situation, this, to me, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's so quiet. 4 a.m. in India. Wow, welcome in, Pratam. Who do I think is the best replacement for Mo? So, it depends what you mean by best. Likely, reasonable, affordable, Bowen. People are divided on my opinion on Jarrod Bowen, and I get it. Jarrod Bowen, to some people, they get what I'm talking about. Other people don't think he's anywhere near good enough. I do. I think you could drop Jarrod Bowen straight into our system and we'd get results. He's not going to do Mo numbers, but I don't think anybody is going to do Mo numbers. The crazy name, of course you're talking Mbappe. You probably have to shift around a few positions there. Nico Williams is off the table. He signed a new deal at Bilbao. Bakayoko, I don't know if he's ready yet. So yeah, Bowen for me, because I'd want Premier League proven, and I like Jarrod Bowen. Do hit that like button, please. Yes, we need to get the likes up, so do hit that like button. Am I confident about the Europa League? In what sense? Like, I'm confident. We should. Like, I'm not going to say this about many other competitions, but we should be looking to win the Europa League. Like, I don't want to say it's a gimme for us, but nobody will convince me that we're not the best team in that competition. Yes, Bayer Leverkusen are firing on all cylinders, but I fully expect us to be in Dublin for the final. So yeah, you're in the competition. Let's try to win it. Thoughts on Jonathan Morley weight loss? I've got no information on Jonathan Morley's weight loss, but if he's lost weight and is what he wanted to do, then absolutely fair play to the man. I hope to do a similar journey myself in the new year. And I don't know Jonathan Morley, but I wish him all the best on his journey. If he's trying to lose some weight, fair play. Look after yourself. Or if he has lost weight even, brilliant. Great news. I hope he feels good for it. I hope he feels positive about himself, and I wish him nothing but success with it. Why do you think we bid 100 million for Caicedo but not for Declan at the start of the window? I think, I don't know the answer, but I've always been led to believe that Declan Rice didn't want to leave London. You know, because look at what he's been linked with. He was at West Ham and he'd been linked with Arsenal and Chelsea pretty strongly. I would have loved them at Liverpool. I think most of us would, but I just always got the impression that London was where he was comfortable. So, do you mind me asking, if he did do the weight loss, what was it that he did? Did he exercise, diet? Just curious for my own, thought processes moving on. As a man who's lost 102 pounds previously, I know the dedication it takes to. I did it hard way. I just did it with calorie deficit, no medication or anything like that. But 4 stone in 3 months, class, is doable. I mean, that sounds like a similar number that I was on at the start as well. So yeah, fair play. Lots of long walks and got a trainer in 3 times a week. That's brilliant. Fair play to the man. That's great news. I hope he's feeling the better for it. I hope he's enjoying his life. And yeah, I mean, that's just brilliant. That's the type of news I love seeing. I don't know Jonathan Morley, but that's going to have a positive impact and a positive influence on other people to think, I can do it. Jonathan can do it, I can do it. And that's brilliant. Fair play. I'm delighted for him. What do I think the scoreline will be against United? Not sure yet. Still kind of mulling it over in my head. But I can't see anything but a win. I mean, I know these games can throw up anything, but I can't see anything but a win. Unfortunately, Craig Ozempic has been massively abused today in the world. Yeah, I'm not one for taking medicine to lose weight. I'm not judging anybody else that does it, but I feel like I cheated. And I don't feel it would be sustainable then either. With weight loss, you usually have a lifestyle change, a pattern change. So yeah, not for me. I wouldn't go down that route, I don't think. If we got to the Europa League final, would you go to watch the match in Dublin? No. I'd want to do a live venue show, watch along event in Dublin somewhere, where we brought in a load of people together, we watched the game, we had post-match conversations. Yeah, I feel like my duty of care always feels to the audience and the community rather than my own self-serving interests. So the fan in me, of course, would love to go to Dublin and watch Liverpool in the final, but the person that leads this community, I feel like I have a duty of care to celebrate it with you guys, and that's what I'd want to do as well. Would I take Saka if Salah leaves? Yes, but it's not going to happen. So it's, unfortunately, because I think we'd all like him, it's a bit of a moot point. I guess you could make an argument for maybe rolling the dice with Chiesa, potentially. I'm 16, I've lost 15 kilos. One mindset I had is always trying to take the more healthy choice and present it with one. Might not be perfect, but it adds up. Absolutely. So, my own one, when I lost the £102, I was taking shakes 3 times a day, and I was drinking water. Nothing else. 3 months, all I did was drink these shakes 3 times a day, and water, and black coffee. That's it. Nothing else entered my body for 3 months. Then I had to reintroduce food slowly, and I found that my taste buds had changed. And I carried on, and I lost more weight in the 3 months after that again. That got me up to the £102. But I used to go walking, then it became a jog, then it became a bit of a run, then it became a bit of a longer run. It helped me that I lived in the countryside at that point, so I had lots of open space. I gave up cigarettes at that time. So yeah, it was look, it's only ever a beautiful thing when people lose weight like that and set out on the journey. And I hope everybody encourages anybody that does it and gets behind them, because they deserve that support. What's £102 in kilo? No idea. I've no idea off the top of my head, mate. I don't use kilos to weigh. I'm old school. Still do pounds and stones. Do you think it's worth going after Zhao from Fulham? I'd like him, but I just can't see it being an FSG type signing, to be honest with you. I lost about £200. Fucking hell, Zakir, well in, mate. That's brilliant. Serious weight loss, that, mate. God almighty. Is that real? Fair fucks. Yeah, so my plan is... Excuse me. So it's weird that you say that, because I literally messaged my manager an hour ago and I said, look, I have this plan. I want to go on a weight loss regime after Christmas, but I want to be accountable. So I asked them to try and find me a brand that I could work alongside, and I'm going to make content about it because I want to be answerable to you guys, to put the pressure back on me. So I'm hoping we can get something in January where I can start my own weight loss thing, because my health is starting to feel shitty since lockdown, where I've put the weight back on, and I just don't feel as confident as I used to. So I'm hoping to do something similar and document it. And as I said, I think by documenting it, I'm going to put the pressure on myself to make sure that I'm answerable to you guys ultimately. Kobe said, how are you, mate? I love the streams. I want to come down to Australia and watch some games. Oh, mate, I'd love to get to Aussie. I'd love to get down to Australia. It's always been on my bucket list, but I think I've said this before. I want to do it for 6 weeks minimum if I ever go down. So maybe someday I'll be able to finance that. But yeah, I definitely want to get down, and God, I'd like to meet as many people as possible if I could. AEM said I lost 18 kilo, which is £50, and I'm now 60 kilo in 12th grade. So I should lose. But mate, look, you've done well. That's brilliant. £50. Well, mate, that's not easy to do. You should be very proud of yourself. Don't beat yourself up over any little setbacks. Just keep focused. Philly said, I don't understand the Nunes hate. Aside from the fishing, he's been amazing all season. Or finishing, I read fishing. I don't know why I read fishing. I don't know why we'd be all talking about his fishing. Although maybe I'm thinking of that pre-season where you had that fish. Do you remember the lake in Austria? That was a monster of a fish. Fuck the weight loss, you look glorious. Oh mate, I wish I'd turn off the light when I even go to the toilet, because I don't want to look in the mirror. I hate looking at myself. I don't watch clips back. I don't watch content back. I hate it. I can't stand the sight of myself. But that's my problem. Right, look, I'm going to go because I got to get set up really quickly for the watch along over on Top of the League. So do come across and join us. We'll be live there in about 5 minutes time. Going to be taking you through Manchester United's game against Bayern Munich tonight in the Champions League. And don't forget as well, the preview for the Europa League game is going to be coming out about 9:30 tonight as well. So thank you, as always. Hope to see you in a couple of minutes over on Top of the League. And if any of you do drop into a Jonathan Morley video or stream, please do pass on our best wishes and congratulations to him. Because although I don't know him, I'm proud of him, if that makes any sense. And he's doing a good thing and he's going to inspire other people. And I'm always here for that. So, well in. Talk to you guys soon. Much love.